That's going to be a thing that I think they're already dealing with it. What am I talking about? Every freaking office on the planet is starting to come to terms with whether or not they need to rent that space out anymore, or whether they can just let their office work from home.
Yep.
So,
you know what makes me bummed about not having an office job to go back to?
what?
I would 100%, knowing what I know about nutrition, would dedicate myself to becoming as grotesquely fat as possible.
Oh,
Just
interesting.
Uncomfortably, like when Mac got fat and Always Sunny, just a good 70 pounds.
Okay, you wanna
in
blow
like
right by
3
that.
months. Yeah, which is like inhuman, but I know I could do it
Yeah, just
because I'm a winner.
drinking melted butter,
Yep. Just melted down Ben and Jerry's, just pints of it.
pouring it over your ice cream.
Crying, screaming, primal scream.
I wish I were dead. I can feel it moving through my veins. Why would you do this?
Just to give everybody something to talk about. Like, how was your pandemic? Well, I made a sourdough starter. Would you
I
like
see.
a piece of the mother dough? Oh, that'd be great. I spent a lot of time with my children. Oh my God. And it's just me laboring to walk into the room. Top of the morning, everybody. I trust you all had a swell commute. Whew, take a little sit down here. Give me one of those non-dairy creamers. It's been 5 minutes since I stuffed something in my mouth.
Yeah. Your office is on the first floor.
Yeah, just walking up one step just
Yep.
gassed me.
Woo, boy.
Tell you what, I know what you're thinking. He's put on a couple LBs. I'll have you know I've actually lost 20.
I figured this was going to be some weird thing where you're like, yeah, I'm going to get as fat as possible so then I can lose all the weight and surprise everybody. But
Yeah,
now
I've seen stuff like that,
he's
like
going to lean into the skid, huh?
the personal trainer who does like the empathy gain,
Yes.
where he's like shredded and he gains 60 pounds and then he takes it all off so he can feel what his clients were feeling. And I'm like, well, that's both patronizing and amazing. Good for you that you got your six-pack back.
That's
However,
insane. That's what crazy people do.
all you're showing me is, yes, I'm fat. Yes, I could lose the weight, but I won't because I don't have discipline.
Oh, so now you're telling me that it's a character flaw. How interesting. Thank you, sir. That's what this was all about.
Cool, it's a referendum on me. That's exactly what I hoped for as I started this journey.
It's so great how different people are, how different people get to be different. Thank you for that.
Yeah, so
Is-
fuck that. There's no losing that weight, man. If I put that on,
That's
I'm
brutal.
destroying my arteries and my asshole,
Uh-huh.
but it's worth it.
It's beautiful. Everyone get that image?
It's just going to get a little bit worse.
Don't
in,
let
like-
go of it.
No, keep thinking about it. Think about the varicose veins on my giant blob tits. They just sit like Garfield's eyes on top of my stomach, which is just littered with stretch marks. Fresh ones every day, like McDonald's breakfast.
I'm thinking
Speaking of which,
your belly button, it looks like a little mouth, like a ooh.
it's
So
a super sad mouth.
So every now and then you draw on your fat. I hate Mondays.
I put French fries in my belly button and just go meow meow
Nom,
meow.
nom, nom.
Like it's eating them.
Garfield likes lasagna, and it's just you smashing. Oh, there's an image.
Just rubbing it in there.
Yep. People will pay you for that on the internet. I'm telling you. That can be the market you corner.
Oh, 100%.
Drawing a Garfield look-alike on your body, and then smashing lasagna into your belly button.
I would actually be like pretty proud to put that on my LinkedIn.
Get behind it. It's happening.
Yeah. Well, what are you
So-
going to do?
I don't know. I can't beat that.
I don't know. I think you clever boy.
Tall, skinny white dude. I'm sure there's people who would do mean things to me.
There you go. You come back as a Q guy.
Oh, great. I can just I can lead into the alt-right and just get all those people.
Yeah, I mean when you go back
I am getting a rally together with some I got to get the Alex Jones voice going on a little bit more.
Oh yeah.
What are they trying to hide? I don't understand.
Meet me, all patriots meet me in the break room in 5 minutes.
We're going to all get together at the local Target and buy some tiki torches so that we can see into the night for freedom. That's the only reason, I promise.
No other conceivable reason we would be doing this
It's certainly not because all of you are white supremacists.
with the same haircut.
Oh.
Yep.
All of them wearing their shirts because they don't want. There's some tattoos they don't want you to see. Oh, America, why are you still the same after all this time?
We're just becoming reality TV. Like the whole nation is the most compelling reality TV.
Maybe that's the problem. Is reality TV's made us horrible. You'd think that like I don't know. Every now and then when I see like the Jersey Shore or Keeping Up with the Kardashians, or you just see like a little clip of any of that stuff, I sit there and look at myself and it makes me go, I really want to be a better person.
Well, I don't think reality shows turned us into trash. I think reality shows are a reflection of the fact that we are trash.
I know, and my point being is you would have thought that it would have made people better, because you would sit there and look at it on camera forever being like, I never want to be one of these people losing their shit at this deli for no reason because someone said something mean about their hair,
I've got to take a real look in the mirror.
Yeah, and you sit there and you think about it and go, what's the worst thing I've done like that? You have those
just
moments.
Flashback to kicking a horse.
Yeah, just a little baby horse. Give it a nice boot. Run off. I'm gonna live forever. And you just, you think about your not so great moments in life, and you go, I'm going to make sure I'm not this type of person. I would never want to be the waiter in this scenario, when this thing's happening where this person's losing their shit and flipping a table. And that's on. It's there forever. Like reality TV is always going to be there, unfortunately. And it's always going to be the worst of us. It's always going to be the worst of humanity on display.
Well, yeah. Would it be entertaining to see like a principal who came back from cancer to really lead his school into, he's like, we're going to do things differently. I got a new lease on life. And all of a sudden test scores are up. And we've got an award-winning basketball team.
No, like the point is, I'm not,
no one would give a shit.
I have no problem with it being terrible people doing terrible things. It scares me that when you talk to people, they're like, "Oh, I would totally love to be a terrible person on a reality show."
It's aspirational.
Yeah, it becomes yeah, exactly. It's like when you ask kids and they want to be TikTokers and streamers, and you go, "Those people objectively suck," as they like put that facade on, like there's a camera in front of them for their entire lives. It's a fucked up, weird kind of part of human culture now.
It's the same thing as reality TV. Either you are this fucked up or you are willing to pretend to be this fucked up because you're psychotic.
I just wish it would make us better. And it's not, because they're like, wait, how much money is that abs dude from the Jersey Shore worth? Millions, you say? Many, many, many millions? Oh, okay. Sure, I can be a piece of shit too.
Yeah. I'll fake having muscular dystrophy on the real world if that gets me money.
Hey, sweetie, get the camera rolling while I hit the kids. And like, they're
honey, I slapped the kids.
And a YouTube star was born.
That was very depressing.
Yeah.
We tried our damnedest to make that go down easy.
It's going to be a happy episode.
It's going to be something. Do you want to just...
Not our audience. Our audience doesn't hit their children. As far as I know. If you are, you're doing a damn good job hiding it.
Well, our audience doesn't have children. They're all lonely, depressed
pets.
losers.
Or pets, whatever.
Sure. Yeah, and I could see a couple people out there who hit their dogs. Should I name names?
Skittish people. Skittish dogs.
The following listeners I know to be serial abusers of their pets.
That hit the yeah. Just get a list going. This is why we need to start involving cameras.
This will be a good video podcast.
Yeah.
Our body language contributes a lot to your understanding of the show.
The cameraman would hate it. What? I can't just set it on. You're not just like sitting across a desk. Nope. Because halfway through this, Rory's going to decide to lie down on the floor. And you're going to have to get that angle while he sits there. He's not just going to recline. He's going to lie down at some point. Also, can we get someone in here to vacuum?
Now I'm just imagining you. That's like a recurring segment on the podcast. Just like Rory's lying down, and the recliner just starts going down tediously slow.
Yeah.
You're just in a sleep number bed.
But
You're just propped up in bed.
I'm not even sure what I would talk when I talk about like things that make me tired or things that make me sad.
I think we just continue with the conversation. It's just the moment that we know you've really given up for the day.
Oh, great.
Rory goes back in the storage, but he still wants to participate.
Yeah. Someone get him a blankie and some cocoa. That does sound kind of nice, though. Some cocoa. Some nice hot cocoa. Put a little whipped cream on top. Oh, marshmallows.
Just a scotch.
You get the baby marshmallows.
Yeah, because when those get melty, it's not a choking hazard.
Yeah, it's not like the big ones where you're like, this is a little gross now.
Yeah, yes.
You get some just the little ones.
The little ones look like teeth.
Yeah. I always wanted to be like, you ever see like there was always a cartoon where like a kid put an oversized marshmallow into his hot chocolate and absorbed it, and then he like plopped it out and then cut it like it was food. That's the dream.
That's great.
That's the dream right there.
Speaking of which, you've seen that comic, the Garfield comic, where it's implied that John drinks Odie's spunk, right?
No, I haven't. What?
There's this. Oh, dude.
What? Haven't you ever been on the internet? It's like I every time I turn around, there it is, the Odie Spunk comic.
Come on, man. It's basically a commodity.
Do you have eyes?
I thought you were into NFTs. I bought steak in the OD Cum comic.
I got 3 of them.
It's this weird, and I've never figured out if it's real or not, but it's a really funny idea if it isn't, and it's fucking amazing if it is. If this appeared in the Sunday papers, I will find Jim Davis's corpse and kiss it on the mouth because it's funny as shit
Get
ever.
to digging.
John thinks he's drinking milk or something, and then a nurse comes in and is like, yeah, we jacked off your dog to get a lady dog pregnant. Hey, what happened to that vial? Like the way that it's put.
Yeah.
Like John drinks it, and she's like, oh, boy, in 8 weeks, he'll be giving birth to a healthy litter of puppies.
There's no fucking way that they put in the Sunday comics a fucking strip. Like, oh, just right there, right below Peanuts. What's the Garfield? Oh, look at that. Charlie Brown got the football moved, and he fell on. Look at what's this? Oh, it's John drinking cum on the Sunday paper.
What's next? Doonesbury's going to do heroin?
Yeah. Hagar the Horrible, sitting there with a meth pipe.
Fun bit about that. At one point in the 90s, they were going to do Hagar the Horrible Cola, and the whole marketing fell apart for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Garfield?
It's horrible.
John drinks dog, and then it doesn't finish. Okay.
Okay.
Here's the comic.
I guess they're not allowed to finish it.
Is it real? Okay, cartoonist denies. Okay. All right, let's see this.
Of course he did not.
Okay.
You're telling me that another cartoonist couldn't come out there and plagiarize that incredible work?
Let's listen to this. Okay. The comic goes, John. Have a cup of coffee, John. Well, why, thanks. Don't mind if I do. He drinks whatever's in the cup. The nurse goes, congratulations, Mr. Arbuckle. You're going to give birth to a fine, healthy litter of puppies.
Yeah.
Garfield thought bubble. I hate puppies.
Yeah. See, that one doesn't sound real.
Here's the thing. Everybody started spreading this around.
Great.
And Jim Davis had to clarify. He goes, this is the biggest. Tell me if this sounds like the biggest load of bullshit you've ever heard. On the farm, we used to give first calf heifers a high-protein supplement to help them deliver healthier calves. The supplement was provided by our vet. I assumed that there would be a similar supplement for dogs. So really, John is just drinking a protein-enriched drink formulated for a pregnant dog. Oh, okay.
Like, you're the most naive motherfucker in the world.
Makes total sense.
Or you're, don't you get it? It's totally cool.
I'll give him this. He's got a little plausible deniability because it's a mug, not a vial. I mean, why would there be dog cum in a mug?
Got what's on hand when it happens, man.
That's true. When the moment strikes.
There you go.
When your dog starts coming, you get whatever you can underneath
Sean's
that.
just like, what was I supposed to do? Let it hit the floor?
It's pearly gold.
Awful. Let's stop. Let's stop talking about the
That's
Garfield
the name
character.
of the episode. Pearly gold.
Oh, Odie. This just reminds me of all of like the Hello John comics that people put online. Like, you know what those are?
Are they the ones Garfield without Garfield?
No, they're not. No, they're the ones that it's basically like the monster from The Thing, but it's Garfield instead. So it's just like these really disturbing things where like you see Odie and then you realize it's just an appendage of the Garfield monster, and you're just like, what the fuck?
Jesus. So much stuff with Garfield. You had
super disturbing.
Garfield without Garfield, where they just took him out and John's a depressing person.
Oh, it's really sad. I remember the first one I saw, it made me laugh so hard, and then I realized it was all that. And I was like, okay, I'm done. You really just need one. You really just need one of those.
Yeah, this is very sad. People love to do dark, fucked up stuff with Garfield.
It's just like him with a plate of lasagna there, and then he just says something very sad, and you're like, amazing.
He just stares at the ground with his little boo-boo lip.
I don't understand anything at all anymore. And you're just like, okay, great.
What do you think, Garfield? Will she call me back? And then it's just him staring. He's got that 1,000-yard stare for 2 panels. I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
If you,
Please tell me it's not about Garfield.
it's not about Garfield.
Okay.
We're pivoting away from Garfield.
Oh, no.
Here's the thing. When we started doing this in the closet back in Texas,
Yeah.
we did a couple of commercials. And
Yeah.
one of them was for Stank Puss Skate Company. Now, here's where we get this podcast into the stratosphere, Rory. What if we were to put a Stank Puss logo on stickers, send them to Jordan Maxim, and have him put them on his deck?
Because he's not going to put stickers on his skateboard deck when he uses it to grind. That's just, it's terrible because think about that.
Okay, we'll have it emblazoned. We'll pay to have it emblazoned on the board.
Like spray painted or something?
Sure.
He's going to be like, no, fuck you guys.
It's rustic, Jordan. Come on.
It's like, I don't want to do that.
The skateboard smells like dog cum.
Yeah. We'd probably have more luck if it was literally anything else.
What, than Stank Puss?
Yeah, I don't...
With like a rad little cat? Everyone thinks puss means like puss. I'm talking about a super rad kind of mangy cat.
Yeah, I'm
You
sure
don't give a fuck.
everybody got that.
Well, it's like the dog it's drinking the dog semen thing. We didn't provide the proper context
Yeah,
for what we meant.
Yeah, that's exactly. I'm glad we got there in the end. It's so important that we got there in the end, so we didn't leave anybody out to dry on that one. They might have thought that we were disgusting, awful people.
It's called artistic integrity. Look it up.
Yeah. Whew. So, yeah, I don't think that'll work.
No?
No.
Okay.
Also, think about it. We got to find his address and shit.
That wouldn't be difficult. We know people who are still in touch with him.
Yeah. So you're saying let's stalk somebody we know who's become famous to whore ourselves to that person in the hope of notoriety, even though the thing we're sending for him to do will in no way relate back to us at all and will not translate into any more listens.
Well, Rory,
I think it'd be pretty awesome, don't get me wrong, if it happened and you see the thing, like he's grinding, there's like the picture, and Stank Puss right in the front.
And then if he tagged us in it on social media, that's how it gets back to us.
Oh, and that's how
But
we
I
make
like
friends.
the idea that he forgets and it was all for nothing.
Yes.
That
See,
fits the motif of the
that
show.
makes me feel a lot better about it, too.
That's a good one.
Wait, who sent this to me? Oh, well, better never figure it out. Like, I don't care.
Whatever.
Yeah, he just moves on with his life.
Yeah.
Full of people who care about him.
Nice wife, and he's sponsored by like rolling papers and stuff.
Wait, look at this beautiful house.
Must be nice.
That's cool. All he had to do was be like super talented.
Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah.
Also a nice person, so it happened to a nice person, which is always nice. Nice.
Fuck that guy. No, he's just,
Bro, he's got stories.
uh,
That'd be a good thing to do. Take our most successful friends and just blow up their spot on this podcast.
Oh yeah, just tell stories about him. Yeah. Well, I used to give Jordan rides to the skate park when we were in high school, and so some things he'd be like, I don't give a fuck. You can tell all those stories.
It's like, you made up half of that, and I don't even care.
Yeah. He was actually Poseidon, god of the sea. What?
I won't deny that one.
Like, I didn't know until then. When he got sad, it rained, just like that girl from that Men in Black movie. You know, the not good one.
You'll have to be more specific.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there were 4 if you count the one that didn't have the original cast, right?
It
I
was
never
the one
watched
where
that.
when the girl cried, it rains. There was one of them. It was one of the Men in Black movies.
I'm going to shoot straight with you. I saw 2 and 3 once.
Yeah. Again, because that's the only thing you needed to do.
And I didn't even really
See
like
'em.
the first one that much.
I thought the first one was fine when I was a kid. You know.
It was more like a cultural thing. Like everybody was seeing it. Oh, so good. So you see it. It's the hot new movie that's out.
I mean, I was too young when it came out. But years later, when I saw it.
You were? I remember seeing it in theaters and being shit terrified of the aliens.
Yeah, I remember starting to see it in the theater, and I was shit terrified of the aliens, and my aunt who was with us was like, oh no, the kids are not watching this, and pulled us all out of the theater.
Damn.
Yeah, so I watched it later.
Decisive.
Yeah.
I am also the kid that got to watch The Exorcist at 9.
It was the moment when he pulls his face back and goes, is that better? And my aunt was just like, we are out of here.
Just loudly yells, fuck this.
What a mistake to bring 9-year-old kids to. Like, I don't know how old we were at the time, but we were like a nice range of age. So she was just like, no, we are not staying here.
Yep.
We're going to go see the Napoleon Dynamite, which was way, way later.
Eat the food, Tina. Isn't that funny?
What a terrible movie.
Oh, man.
Think about how much money that movie made for being really, like, honestly, not that good of a movie.
It was just like that stupid quirky shit that hit when we were in high school,
Yeah.
2004, 2005.
Well, it was just like it was the kind of movie where like nothing really happens and nothing goes on and like things change but the people don't change and some shit happens and it's over.
But he literally just like breathes through his mouth for the entire movie and just stares at the ground.
Yep.
And like it just
He does that great dance and everyone goes, "Whoa, how about that?"
yeah, that's the whole payoff to the movie.
Yeah.
Everybody likes him because he did a cool dance in his moon boots.
He sits and he hoards what was it? The food. He's got little tater
tots.
Yeah.
Napoleon, give me some tots.
He's hoarding the tots. That creepy dude who gets his picture taken by the young girl.
Oh, the creepy dude.
You know, I watch it again. Go watch it.
No,
again.
I have no desire to.
Too late. You've got to know.
It's one of those stupid things.
Next episode, we're going to do nothing but talk about Napoleon Dynamite. So you need to go watch it again.
Well, then, if we're going to do that, we need to watch all their other movies. Nacho Libre, Gentlemen Broncos.
Forget it.
I think one of them's called Delta Burke or something like that.
Yeah, no, you've sold me. I quit.
Well met.
Yeah, well
met, Fitzgerald.
good job. We got to that middle area and realized I don't want to do any of that. All of it sounds terrible, and particularly uninteresting.
Yeah, we're not going to play chicken with this gimmick. The Seagal thing is one thing.
Seagal was great. I'll talk about that horrible man for days and days.
I get a sick pleasure out of talking about Steven Seagal. He's kind of everything I want to be minus the sexual assault.
So you two just want to like flee to a different country?
Just be a fat loser who lives in Eastern Europe and was like, I was good at karate once. And like, okay.
And just beats people
Can you
up.
touch your toes?
Yeah.
No, my spray-on ponytail will fall out.
As he said, in between bites of pasta.
Mixed with Entenmann's donuts.
Ooh, that sounds pretty great. Entenmann's are a guilty pleasure.
They really are.
Those powdered donuts are fan-fucking-tastic.
And I'm not a big powdered donut guy, but every now and then those little Entenmann's poppables.
Oh, damn it. There was a store like right at the top of the corner where I used to live in New York. So every now and then I'd be walking home. I'd be like, do I have like $3 in my pocket? Why, yes, I do. And I'd walk in there and I'd get the little glazed ones and I'd get some of the little, the little powdered donut ones. And just get so sick later from just eating those.
My fond memories of giving myself the sugar shits.
But you can't eat just one. And you just regret that later.
Whose motto was that? Pringles?
I think that was Lay's.
Lay's?
Lay's, bet you can't eat just one.
Mm.
Because Pringles was all about, for a while, they were like, with other chips, they're all greasy. And they get on your hands. I'm like, shut the fuck up, Pringles. That happens with you, too.
Yours make my fingers powdery.
Yeah, like there's... if I was at Lay's or any of those other countries, I would have been like, yeah, but we're made from potato, you piece of shit. Like I would have gone right back at them. Like why aren't you Pringles potato chips? Huh? Why aren't you potato?
What is a Pringle?
Pringle, I think, is mostly like a cornmeal product. It's potato, but it's also like a cornmeal.
Okay, so it's just enough potato to like register?
Yeah, I feel like there was like a whole thing at some point about like them being Pringles potato chips. And like, so they're not Pringles, like they're potato crisps or some different. Like,
it's not something you should be eating.
I mean, corn is fine.
Yes, in all its many forms.
Pringles are just like, they might as well be like Santitas corn chips, you know?
Interesting.
Is more or less what it is, I guess. Just like a different variety and stacked differently, of course.
Yes.
I think it's a game. Like, I'd rather just like get a bag of chips though than Pringles these days because you're getting more. You're getting more chip that way.
You think so?
I think so.
You positive?
Well, you think about it, man. Most of the weight there, I mean, the Pringles can has metal in it. It's got that sturdy cardboard versus a Mylar bag. You know, right there, the weight is obviously it's Pringles. You know,
sure.
And then you're adding the chips, and you're stacking them on top of each other. They're not taking up a lot of space. I know there's a lot of air inside the Lay's bag.
That's my problem. I'm not a big chip guy anyway, but chips are bullshit because half the bag is full of air.
Well, and what are we comparing it to? Are we comparing it to like the same price? Like Pringles are. It depends where you go. Sometimes they're as much as like $4 fucking.
Well, again, you should be eating Pringles, so it's like putting dead babies on cigarette cartons.
You know, like you're comparing it to like a $4 bag of Ruffles. That bag of Ruffles, that's gonna have more weight to it.
See, the thing is,
I hate to break I hate to burst your bubble, man.
I'm just telling you, chips like that are like 99 cents. How good could they be?
Yeah.
You get half a bag of stale farts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, chives.
I wish they would stop doing that, but I get why, so they don't break.
I get why.
That's the
It's
argument.
just horseshit.
But make the bag bigger, man.
Exactly.
Just make it a bigger bag.
That's not cost effective. Well, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, then you call it a family size, and you charge $4.50 for it, like a bunch of assholes.
Highway robbery.
And now you've got the tiny bags, and they're 99 cents. There's barely any shit in there. That used to be 50-cent bag, but they made it a little bit bigger, called 99 cent.
Chips are a bullshit snack. I know you like them, but they are a bullshit snack.
I mean, yeah, I like chips, sure. I don't go out of my way to buy them all the time.
Just chew on glass.
Yeah.
If you need to crunch on something, just chew on glass.
Yeah. Well, what's a better snack?
I don't know. Honey roasted peanuts off the top of my head.
Oh, that's fair.
I'm a big Funyun guy. I know that's controversial.
See, I don't really like Funyuns. Not really. I don't know what it is.
The dragon breath.
Yeah,
is challenging.
The absolute disgust that my body feels after ingesting those. I think. Yeah, I guess my favorite chip is the Santitas, those corn chips. Oh, they're like nice and salty. Every now and then you get one that's a little too salty. Oh man, that's great. That's some good stuff.
What a surprise! It's called the Devil's Cut.
Yeah.
I'm gonna out the new girl at work. She's keto, and she had keto pork rinds in her purse. And I'm like, isn't the healthiness of keto offset by the fact that you're eating pork rinds?
I mean, I don't know how the diet works. You have to tell me.
Keto is like all fat, minimal carbs. You can have like 50 grams of carbs, but you're just eating a fuck ton of protein and fat.
You eat fat and protein all the time, and you work out.
I think I've talked about keto before, yeah, where it's like,
But you really got to stick to a specific amount of it.
you have to stick to the no more than 50 grams. Maybe it's based on body weight, but I've heard 50 grams.
Wow.
That's what mine was looking like. And I looked at the sheer amount of fat I had to eat, and I was like, it's not that I can't wrap my head around the concept of eating fat, because it's not Marlon Brando's liposuction remains from a surgery. But I'm just like, anytime I eat something that's overly fatty, it's just like, it's disgusting. It's greasy. It's fat.
I have never looked at anything I've ever eaten
That's the spirit.
and gone, how many grams of anything is this?
I remember yesterday where you were eating your ice cream cone, and I was like, I joked that it had 100 grams of fat, and you were like, is that a lot?
And I was like, is that a good thing? Because I don't really care. Doesn't really bother me.
More power to you.
One day it'll kill me. I don't care.
I thought that was the
I
point.
don't care, man. Yeah.
That's why we're eating Pringles.
That's why that's why I'm sitting there comparing, like, which one of these is gonna weigh more in my belly? Yeah. I'm gonna sneak you into the movies.
My tummy.
Yep.
Those pizza Pringles. Were you a fan of the pizza Pringles? I sure was.
You know, it took me a long time to get into different flavors of chips.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but
Not a chip flavor guy?
I wasn't for a while. I was mostly just like, if I was gonna have them, I was gonna have like salt and vinegar. Did
Mhm.
ranch flavored chips for a while, which was pretty weird, but actually surprisingly good. And now it doesn't matter. Sure.
Did you like those dressed
except for
all over
pickles.
ones?
Yeah, those are okay.
Those are pretty good.
Yeah, they're a little bit of everything. They're like having an everything bagel.
Drag that through
In
a
a chip.
French onion dip. You get a good time.
I don't know. I don't do a lot of dips either. I want a chip to stand by itself.
See, we're such different people. And
I'll
that's why this
have dip.
podcast works.
I'll have dip. I'm not like anti-dip.
Okay, Jerry Seinfeld.
I'm not anti-dip.
I'm not anti-dip.
I'm not an anti-dipper. Yeah. But I like a chip to be able to stand on its own, you know?
It's fair if you're a chip guy.
Like,
and
I'll
which
eat a
you
whole
are.
bag of Ruffles and not have them dipped in anything, even though that's what they're made for.
That sounds brutal. That's
Yeah.
like eating tortilla chips without salsa or anything at all.
Which I do as well.
That's fucking brutal. I forgot. You're a Santitas guy.
Yeah. I'll just have, like, if a chip is, like, in any way at least a little salty, like, I'm good with it. That's fine.
Oh, that's brutal.
Well, I have a bad stomach, and my stomach can handle it. So I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
Do you like saltines?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, I'd like to put peanut butter on them.
Yeah, that's good. I did that a lot as a kid. It was all these foods that, like, your family presumed you loved, and you're like,
Yeah.
I could take or leave this. Now you're an adult, and you're like, I hated that.
Yeah. No, I like that. Like saltine chip with some, like, or like saltine, like the little crackers. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. I had a stroke there for a second. Little saltine crackers with some peanut butter on them. Put a little top to them. Like, Tiny little peanut butter saltine sandwiches. Oh boy, this is the best day of kindergarten ever. Oh no, they're bullying me.
They're putting the class turtle down my pants.
It got dark. It got dark fast. That's how most school stories went. Just always have that flashback. I'm in the first grade, and it was my job to hold the door. But those other two kids at the back of the line decided they wanted to stay outside for longer, but I'm supposed to hold the door. So what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to hold the door for them? Am I supposed to go inside? And now I'm getting in trouble.
This is your Vietnam.
Yeah.
No.
This is why I have anxiety. Well, you should have just came with the rest of the class. Well, I didn't know that, okay? And now I'm crying. Oh, boy.
Every time you try to use a door from now on, you just break down with PTSD.
Like, Rory, he's great. He colors inside the lines. He always has things for show and tell. But the anxiety that he feels in the first grade seems a little concerning. It's just being like, I just don't understand.
You might want to nip this in the bud there, parents.
Yeah. I'm just looking over there. Teacher, Stacy, she's coloring her sheep green. I don't understand. This is a world. We're supposed to have rules. I need to go outside and breathe for a moment. Yeah, childhood. Normal childhood.
Yeah.
Just like.
Did anybody briefly think you had autism?
Maybe.
That happened to me.
Lord knows. I feel like I had so much energy in kindergarten that it was there. Yeah, I think they called my parents in and they were like, "Are you hitting him or something?" I can't remember what the word was. My mom cried. But it was one of those things, like, I remember, because, like, I just, for whatever reason, and I don't even remember kindergarten, really. But they were like, yeah, like, this is what this is. And they explained the concept of school to me. And I was like, oh, okay. And from then, they never had a problem with me ever again. But before that, I just didn't get it. I thought it was like hang out with your friends, like, time away from home, where I was just, again, a massive ball of energy running the fuck around all the time. And so I was probably doing that. And my teacher was probably like, I hate this kid.
This is awful.
I fucking hate him. There's going to be an accident. Some books are going to fall, and it's just going to smush his little head.
And I will rejoice. Yeah. But not visibly.
Public school.
I'll go to the bathroom and do little jumps for joy.
It's just Lincoln School, because that's where I went to first grade, which is now a home.
Oh, wow. I didn't even realize that. I thought you were a Berry City kid. Maybe it wasn't done.
No, it wasn't done until I was there. My first year was my second grade. I was the first second grade class to ever go through the school I went to. Isn't that something? Does it make me special? I hope it makes me special.
It's weird to think that school was built in our lifetime, because, like, Spalding's old as shit.
Yeah.
And, like, my mom went to the old Spalding Graded, which is now the Historical Society.
Yes.
My grandparents, my mom, and I all went to the same high school.
Mm-hmm.
It fucks me up a little bit.
Yep. Look at you. Third generation townie.
Guys, we got a third graduation Spalding kid over here.
Yeah. They point you out. Can't wait to meet your kids in a couple years. Public school was depressing. Public school was so depressing.
Our high school was extremely depressing.
I remember being a senior and, like, meeting kids who were on their second kid, younger than me.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And you're just
I can
like,
think of one specifically.
This is, like, such a weird, like, I still think about that to this day and being like, what a weird fucking thing. And I just, like, looking at it, was like, you're having sex?
Yeah.
What? You guys do that?
A couple of them.
Wait, you do that? What?
Oh.
You?
Hey, at least they stayed in school.
Yeah. And also, like, people are having sex and I'm not. It makes me sad. I guess I see the consequences as being somewhat of a negative at this age.
You just become petrified of sex.
Yeah. I can't. No babies.
Oh, man.
Prom is scary.
Prom was scary.
This is why I went by myself. I didn't go to my senior prom.
We had a lot on the line with prom because we did it at National Life. Oh, no, that was Crystal Ball. We did that at National Life after the people got caught fucking, and National Life was like, never again.
Probably my class.
They were the fuckers?
Must have been. Maybe not. It was all pretty bad.
Could have been.
A couple years.
Could have been.
But it could have been.
I bet it was your class.
Yeah, it
might have been. The seniors above you, you were a junior when I was a freshman. And Jeff was a senior.
Yes.
Jeff's class was pretty low-key.
Yeah, they were pretty low-key, pretty cool. So it was probably our class. And then you guys got the right taken away. And you were like, come on. And they're like, well,
That's the thing is Tanner and I went and did our pitch.
Yeah.
We like dressed up and went to talk to people at National Life.
That class is not our class.
You
Because
can't
we
lump us all together.
have class. Yeah, and I bet you the class in between us didn't get to go. Yeah.
They were super squares. The people when I was in high school, the seniors when I first got in, pretty chill. Your class fucking sucked. The
Yeah,
class
they're terrible.
underneath you fucking sucked, and they were all nerds. And then there was my class, which was a mixed bag, but overall pretty
You
good.
can tell mine was pretty crappy. I came from it.
Fair point.
Come on.
Didn't you graduate a bunch of like geniuses though?
There were a couple of really smart people in my class. Couple of people went on to be Dartmouth grads, but didn't have the money. So like they're special.
Yes.
I know there were some smart people in my class. Went on to do great things, and I was not one of them. Mostly a bunch of assholes who again went on to middling management careers and are still doing better than me. Karma isn't real, folks. Karma isn't real.
Sounds like it's time for Rory to lie down. What are we doing time-wise?
Oh, we're like not even close, man. Yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
We're like 40 minutes in, and that's if we don't cut off all the bullshit at the beginning. I know, right? You're tired. It's been a long week. This is what you get. You're like out there like living your life, feeling fulfilled and doing things. Now you get to the end and you realize you're no longer creatively caged.
I'm giving too many pieces of myself to other people.
And here's the thing about troll dolls, everyone. What was the deal with the hair? Some of them had jewels, some of them didn't. Did the other ones lose their jewels? I don't understand.
I don't like the way they leer at you from the back of Dolores' desk. There's so many of them.
Yeah. What are they plotting?
I feel their little beady eyes on me.
I'll tell you what. They have it out for conservatives. This is a liberal ploy.
You just melt them all with a blowtorch late at night.
I have to purge them.
Dolores is beside herself. Her grandmother gave her those troll dolls.
Antiques. $100,000. Some of the original prototypes. Oh.
Cool. They were made with horsehair and horse placenta.
How oddly specific.
A little bit of asbestos.
Yeah. A lot of asbestos.
Okay, mostly asbestos.
Mostly asbestos.
Okay, the whole thing is asbestos.
I remember cuddling them close to my cheek as a little girl. It's
inhaling deeply.
The dark secret of the American Girl dolls that you didn't want to know.
They dispense cocaine.
Dolly,
Drink the tea. And you raise her arm to her head and just cocaine pours out of her mouth.
Just like a Dateline thing. Something you didn't know about them, and they pop the top off and shake it. Syringes just falling out. All of front.
What about Teddy Ruxpin? And there's just a gun in his chest.
Oh, man. Just think about the horrible. What a weird gift that was.
Teddy Ruxpin?
Teddy Ruxpin.
I never got one, did you?
Oh, I had we didn't have one, but my grandparents had one at their house. When you could get that thing, we got to work like twice. It's one of those things because you had to put the cassette in, you had to turn it on and get it all going, and it's supposed to somehow recognize the cassette and like go with it. But sometimes it just wouldn't, so it'd just be sitting there dead while the story would go. This is fine, I guess. It's just a teddy bear with a boombox in it, basically. Okay, somebody get some Janet Jackson and put some Janet Jackson in the Teddy Ruxpin, and off it go. But like it would move sometimes, and you were just like, this is fucking weird, man.
It's like Furby when one of them broke down and would like randomly come to life, like ha ba 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 hoo 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 hoo.
Yeah. Well,
its
there was
eyes are going nuts.
People who could swear like you could get the Teddy or not Teddy, you get the Furby to like repeat words and all these different things, and I still to this day wonder if they're true, because I could never get my Furby to do that. All I could get my Furby to do was have its eyes open every morning when I shut them at night when I went to sleep. That's the only thing my Furby would do. I would wake up in the morning and it would be staring at me, and I'd go, okay, it's time to start putting this in the closet.
I was not allowed to have Furby.
Why? Dad thought it was a gummit thing?
Oh, my dad thought it was super gay. He was like, you can't have Furby. You can't have a Furby.
Somewhere there's a Furby upstairs in the attic, like in its thing, like all pristine. More just like as a collector's item, along with like hundreds of Beanie Babies.
Man, what are those even worth these days? Anything?
Some of them I think are actually worth something, but most of them no. Like most of them are just run-of-the-mill, whatever, like tons and tons printed. But there's some of them out there that like have like mismatched tags or blah, 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 blah. Because like there's the nostalgia things coming back. Because our generation, like the ones of us that have money, like are looking back on their childhood and going, all these things that I couldn't buy back then, like Pokemon cards or like old Game Boy games and things like that. They're going back and they're buying them now. And they're buying them from people like me who bought those things. No, but they're valuable because most of them got trashed and destroyed. Like one of the original games for the Super Nintendo, for the N64 even, right? Which doesn't seem that long ago. But like Super Mario 64, pristine in the package with like the Mylar still around it, or that plastic wrap. That one of them went for like 6 figures.
God damn, dude.
Yeah, like seriously. There's some serious wealth in having like very pristine. Like there's like, you know how there's like the CGC for comics, right? Where you get the grading, and then you've got same thing for coins and stamps. They've got those for video games now. Like you can, like for for certain people who were smart enough to go, I got the collector's edition of this game and I didn't open it, and it's got the discs and all, or the cartridge even from older games, and they hold on to that shit, and eventually they're starting to sell for a lot of money. Like I got a fucking one of Nintendo's failed projects sitting upstairs, a Virtual Boy sitting in the box. That thing fucks your eyes up. It was basically like this visor that you like would sit on a table and look into, and play with a controller kind of down underneath. And it was all red. It's all red lines.
So
and
early
stuff.
attempt at VR almost.
Yeah, like an early attempt at 3D. Really, is because you sit and it does that for you, and it was fucking great. One day, hopefully, that'll be worth something. It's probably worth a couple $100 now. Got it for like $40 or $50.
Shit.
Yeah.
Did you ever have a Power Glove?
No, but I bet you if you had a pristine Power Glove, that'd be worth something.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yep, there's tons of old things like that. Nintendo made a bunch of weird failed crap, like helmets and all kinds of weird shit. And if you have any of it, it's worth something. It's just weird. Collectors are coming out of the woodwork. Again, I wish I had my Pokemon cards. Not because I want to sell them, because I'm one of those people who feels nostalgic for my old Pokemon cards I ended up giving to like my nephew or like my cousin. And, like that. Just like now I'm like, God damn it, I wish I just kept those fucking Pokemon cards. Because now it means more to me than it probably means to him. Because again, he just got I just gave them to him, so he didn't have to like build you have to build the sets and get the.
He's just using them to chop up Adderall and snort it with his friends.
Yeah, we could do coke off this old binder full of these shitty Pokemon cards my gay ass older cousin gave to me.
He's so lame.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. I wish I had hung on to my Beanie Babies, because you are 100% correct in predicting that they're going to make a comeback. The time is ripe.
Yeah, one of these
90s
days.
nostalgia's peaking.
And if not now, like again, this whole generation has to hit that age 40 crisis, and 50 and 60 and hell, some of us 70. And every like turn of the decade for that whole group is going to freak us the fuck out, because life has taught us to freak the fuck out over everything. We're just never going to get a moment's peace ever. We're just like going to be the PTSD generation. And so we'll have those moments where we're just sitting there being like, I miss that. And the people that have that money, they're just going to go back and drive those markets up.
Pretty much.
Take that fucking Nintendo game home and rip it open and play the game, which is kind of great, but also kind of terrible from a collector's perspective.
Well, from a collector's perspective, but that's what I did with Beanie Babies. I ripped the tag off, I cut the ass tag off, and I played with them, and their fur got all fucked up from the oils on my hand.
Yep.
I played with them like toys, because they're toys.
Yep. And so they're probably fucking worthless.
They were one of the few toys I was allowed to have. I'm like, how come Beanie Babies aren't gay? This one is literally purple with a flower on it.
Yep.
The Diana Bear, which I don't think I played with. Someone was like, it's the most, just sees a child by the shoulder.
Yeah.
It's the most valuable bear.
Yeah. And the
you
funny
do
thing
not
was,
play with this one.
The funny thing was is it really wasn't the most valuable bear.
No.
It was like the one that was like the most, like there's, again, it's one of those things where like people figured out like, it was made with these special pellets for the first 100,000 of them, and it says the tag on the back that says this, and if you've got that, it's worth $100,000. And then all the other ones are worth like $100. And you're like, that's really fucking weird. Like again, that's the kind of collection I would never really want to have, where somebody needs to explain to you why it's so rare. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And should just be like a single male with a bunch of Beanie Babies just on the wall in
I don't care
room.
about that. Yeah.
You've got a lone cat and a lone dog named Garfield and Odie.
Yeah.
I think that's why everyone makes the fucked up Garfield cartoons, is because they lend themselves to like existential depression. It's a single man who talks to his cat.
And dog, kind of.
And feeds it macaroni. Yeah.
Yeah.
Odie has no
macaroni
sentience.
dishes. My God.
Odie has no sentience, but Garfield certainly does.
That's not fair. It's not fair to say.
I mean, Odie doesn't have thought bubbles.
Doesn't he,
He
though?
drinks out of the toilet and eats his own turds.
But does he not have joy and sadness? Does Odie not feel joy and sorrow? Simply because he has no bubbles does not mean that he does not possess sentience.
But do real dogs feel joy and sorrow?
I mean, do stupid people have sentience?
That's a fair question. We know a couple people who basically are as smart as a dog.
Yeah, that's true. And also, I watched this documentary as a child. It's called All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Go on.
So I believe that they have to have sentience because they go to heaven. So they have to have a soul, which is what gets you into heaven.
I thought the help of a plucky sidekick voiced by Dom DeLuise got you into heaven.
As I live and breathe.
Deep cut.
Oh, was that Disney? Was All Dogs Go to Heaven Disney?
It was not.
Wow. Other companies trying to get in the animation game. It's really surprising. Anything animated from your childhood feels like it should be Disney, doesn't it?
It does. Like, people think Anastasia's a Disney movie. It's not.
Really?
It's not.
What?
I think they're all Amblin. I'm pretty sure it's Amblin Entertainment. Spielberg's
Oh, no.
company.
Anastasia's got to be fucking Disney.
It is 100% not, my friend. Let me look it up.
That's why she's never one of the Disney princesses.
Exactly.
I thought it was just the Cold War.
Anastasia movie.
Really?
It's a Bluth, Fox Animation, 20th Century Fox. Don Bluth, he did like We're Back, a dinosaur story.
But see, now Fox is owned by Disney, so technically Anastasia is a Disney product.
It may be great. Well,
yeah, at the time it wasn't.
Oh, you're right. Disney is the one buying these things.
Yep.
They've got Marvel. They've got Star Wars.
They've got 20th Century Fox.
So All Dogs Go to Heaven, Anastasia, The Land Before Time, An American Tale, The Secret of Nim.
Did they do The Brave Little Toaster?
I don't. That, I think, is Disney.
I'm so disillusioned! You gotta be kidding.
Let's do The Brave Little Toaster, but with Animal Farm.
Yeah.
Just appliances killing each other.
All blankets are good, but some blankets are better.
They're all created equal.
Heated blankets.
Oh, yeah, this reminds me, we were talking about cartoons. I shit my pants at Thumbelina.
Really?
Had to be taken home.
Like in the movie theater?
Yeah, destroyed them. Pair of sweatpants, destroyed them.
I don't think I ever had any boom booms out in the theater. I was too impatient to sit in my seat, so I'd sit and like fidget the fuck around while we're sitting there trying to watch Babe Pig in the City. And I'm sure that made my grandmother very upset because I was just making too much noise in the theater. Oh my God, what's going to happen to Babe? And then my sister later would be like, yeah, that was a bunch of different babes,
Oh, God. What are you saying, Kel?
Because one of them would get too fat, and then they would have to bring in another one because the shooting schedule was so long. So the first babe, by the time you saw the movie, had probably been eaten.
Although they're Hollywood pigs. I don't know if you do that.
Hollywood pigs, it's not good
pig.
eating. Yeah, they just bring them out back and put the bolt in their brain.
I think those pigs get to stud. I think you stud those pigs.
These are Hollywood breeding pigs.
This pig is a star. And then when it dies, yeah, you.
There's a high demand for smart, specially sized pigs. Why not just breed teacup pigs for Hollywood?
If that were a viable career path, I would do it.
I can't believe it's not. Like, well, we learned after the baby years, it's just too expensive to keep bringing baby pigs on. You know how many outtakes were full of a squealing, scared pig shitting all over the set? Huh. They got that guy, that actor from The General's Daughter. What's his name?
James Cromwell?
Yeah, James Cromwell. He's just sitting there like, well, oh, Jesus Christ. As the pig, another one, freaks out and pees and shits all over the fucking house set.
Cut. And Gary Marshall's just sitting there like,
yeah,
tonight's the night.
Kill myself. Pig. And he's like, why has my career gotten to this point?
Wait, I'm not making Charlotte's Web? What the fuck?
Yeah. Damn it. I thought this one had some pathos.
He makes two different adaptations and he fucks up the catchphrase. It's just Charlotte's Web. That'll do, pig.
And then
that'll do.
A young Jimmy Fallon comes in to clean up the piss and shit. Nobody knows. It's how he got his start in Hollywood.
He just keeps blowing all the takes because he's laughing.
He was like, fuck this. I'm going to go try and get in a second city. And the rest is history.
Good thing I'm a charming alcoholic.
Yep. Is he still? Is he still an alcoholic?
No, I think he's fine now.
Wow, what a low hit then.
Hey, man, he opened himself up to it when he almost degloved himself with his wedding ring. He was so drunk he fell, and he went to catch himself, and his wedding ring caught on the kitchen counter and skinned his fucking finger.
That's the worst thing I ever heard.
That's why he had that monster cast for a while.
Oh, God.
It's a wake-up call.
Did he's still married?
I believe so.
Oh. Well, good for her.
Yeah, for sticking by him.
Sticking by old Jimmy. I know he laughs in pretty much every skit he's ever been in, but you're there for him, so that's what matters.
Yep.
I can't know. It's what matters is he's got to stop laughing through skits. I know his SNL days are long gone. You can't go back and rewrite history.
But he's also just like, I really find Jimmy Fallon charmless. I think none of what he's doing is interesting or funny or fun.
Oh, I think he's fine on late night. Like, I think he's a fine.
Well, for what
talk
late night
show
is
host.
now.
Yeah,
But for me, Conan set the bar.
well, that's like talking about stand-up comedy and not mentioning Dave Chappelle. Like, there's certain people who said, like, there's this echelon of people who are greats, you know, and Conan is just so far outside, like, all of the realm of the rest of them.
But there are Leno apologists, and some people would say Letterman, and I would have to fight. I would have to debate you on that. Letterman was extremely talented, but Conan for me, because it was just his sense of humor was way more up my alley.
Sure.
Like when he had John Benjamin on to play a marriage counselor who was demonstrating sex positions on the couch.
Well, maybe it's just that he's our generation's talk show host.
That's very fair.
That might be what it is.
Yep, you're probably right.
But
same as like Jon Stewart was too. The Daily Show was big.
Yeah, Jon Stewart was one of the greats. I kind of look at him in a different light too. Yeah.
Jon Stewart, I mean, Colbert Report was very different. It was a Fox riff, and my dad watched so much Fox that I was like immediately identified what this was.
Oh, I liked it. If it had been, you know, I mean, he did the character so well, and that's what was so good about it, was because he could riff in character during the whole thing. Like, people don't realize when you watch that show, like, how much of it was just him improving that. And that's what's really impressive about that show. But in that sense, it's also kind of different. Like, it's not quite the same as the other talk shows in that sense.
But it was great. It was great for that as like a parody of a Fox News, like The Morning Talk.
Yeah.
Fucking stupid cunts at 9. Like, it's just so awful. One of their programs, The Five, that was one of my dad's big-time favorites, is The Five. It was 4 conservatives, Greg Gutfeld, some other asshole,
and one guy who got shit on.
2 blonde women, and the token liberal. Which for a while was a guy, I can't remember what his name was, not Dick Gephardt. But it was this big, fat, sweaty Brian Dennehy looking guy who just could not stop doing drugs. So they kicked him off The Five.
Oh, no.
He was their punching bag.
Did it become The Four? Well, I wonder why he was doing all the drugs.
Probably. Every
deal
day
with getting yelled at on The Five.
Smashed by Tommy Lahren.
Your favorite.
Who is now on The Five. Don't you say that out loud.
Favorite.
Stormfront Barbie.
Yeah. Just the worst.
I think I've said this before, but if you get one shot at a 3-way, I'm picking AOC and Tommy Lahren.
Oh, and just watching them argue through it?
I think they're going to be so competitive with one another that I reap all the benefits.
Listen, I wanted, like, at first you want to fight. I wanted to fight you on that, but
you can't.
Your logic's rock solid.
Tommy Lahren will be like, I'll show you how conservative girls do it in the butt. And AOC's like, I'm going to show you a whole new world you've never even seen before. She could teach a young man like me, who is maybe 2 years older than her. I think.
Yeah. It's like, I'm pretty sure she's pretty close to our age. Doing a lot more with her life than us.
Sure. Has a boyfriend who looks just like me. You know how depressing that is?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, you're her type?
Yes.
Gross.
Yes. She should be removed from office immediately.
Yeah.
I would love that. I would love to be like Kamala Harris's husband, Doug, or whatever. To just be a powerful woman's arm candy.
Yeah, it turns out it's Marjorie Taylor Greene, and you're like, oh no, that's right, funny, that's right, honey, Jewish space lasers, that's what happened. You're so brave and smart. Yeah, sure.
I support everything you're doing. That's the thing. I'd be stepdad to her daughters. Why not? I'd be a strong influence in their life. I'd be like, now, girls, you know your mother's fucking crazy, right?
She seems like the worst. She seems like just the worst person I've ever met or heard of.
You'd kill yourself with a rock having to talk to her.
Yeah. I'd be like, you'd get a weekend. You'd be like, yeah, I've got a pool now, but I don't know if it's worth it. And we're around guns all the time. And like accidents happen. It's just what I'm saying, guys. Just accidents happen.
Lauren Boebert came over and shot the gardener. Like, felt intentional. She said it was an accidental discharge. I don't buy it. Yeah. Shooter's Grill. They're required to open carry.
Yep.
I'd get an elephant gun if that's the case. Strap it to my back.
Oh, this is a tranquilizer gun. They didn't specify. And some days are longer than others. So when you get done, it's good to have something you actually want to use. Just get done table 3. Well, good night, everybody. And you just swack. Fall asleep right there on the line.
We should apply to work at Shooters. I think they only hire women, though.
Yeah.
We could be line cooks.
How progressive of them.
They're giving young women an opportunity
Yeah.
to work in the proximity of guns.
Listen, Roy, I don't think our patrons would be comfortable with a man open carrying while waiting tables.
It sends an entirely different message.
It's just a little too effeminate. Just like, okay, great. It's great, guys. Yeah.
What are we at time-wise here?
I don't know. We're probably pretty good.
What does it say? You keep saying
we're
that.
over an hour.
Okay.
We're
By
over an
how
hour.
much?
By like a couple minutes. By a minute or two.
You have any new business?
New business?
I don't know. Any bit you want to cram in here at the
I
end?
don't got no bits, motherfucker. Would have used them earlier when we've been fucking faltering. Hey, what's the funny deal about saltine crackers and Garfield? Isn't that funny? I got this secret bit I waited for the end to just drop on. Little pearl of wisdom.
Well, I don't know.
You mentioned Odie's cum. There was no... That was the episode.
Well, you have an opportunity to throw one of those at me.
Nope. That's it. That's all I got.
You ever go to lay flowers on a loved one's grave and you find the gravedigger having sex with a dead body?
Yep.
That ever happened to
Isn't
you?
life funny? Well, good night, everybody.
Those are Rory's ending thoughts.
Yeah. All of us are different, but sometimes we find things that really make us all the same.
Isn't that what it's all about?
Yeah. Like Jerry Springer at the end of a show. You watch people hit each other with chairs, and then he comes out at the end, gives you that nice little thing, and you go, what the fuck was that? Proud to be an American. I guess I'm apparently free.
They tell me that I'm free,
Yeah.
but I just cannot leave my house and I have to wear a mask. And
Oh, no.
coronavirus is fucking fake.
I was like, where is it? Where is he going with this?
Oh, no. Not this time.
Yeah, not good. Not good stuff.
What about the time people were saying the coronavirus was fake?
Not this time.
Not this time.
We're
Total
gonna-
fiction.
We'll be talking about that next week, so tune in. It was fun with this fictitious virus that totally didn't exist and hasn't killed anybody. I'd like to think it's because the CIA, they go around and every now and then they're killing people with a super strain of the flu.
They've also got that ray gun that can stop your heart. Isn't that neat?
Isn't that weird?
We love the CIA. You got anything you want to plug before we dump out?
I said no.
Splendid. Well, until next time then, you jolly fuckfaces. Thank you, go fuck yourselves, and goodbye.